Hello, my name is Ashton, and in this episode, I will teach you about variables. Variables are very important parts of coding, as they can store values, such as numbers or text, for you to use elsewhere in the program. If you don't quite understand that, think of the variables like a box that contains a number or word. This box will store the number or word for you, and then you can use the box elsewhere in order to get the number or word it stores. In Scratch, variables are represented through these blocks with the rounded corners. If you want to see what number or text the variable currently is, you can do it by clicking on the block and it will state what it currently is. For example, this is the expedition variable, and it stores the x value of the sprite, which over here it says 15. So if we click it, it will say 15. Additionally, in the sidebar, if you scroll down to where a variable is, you will see that there's this box next to them. If you click it, then the sprite's value will be shown in game. Any changes it undergoes will also be shown, and if you want to get rid of it, you can simply click the checkbox again. Just like booleans, this block doesn't connect to other blocks normally. It won't go on top or underneath, and that's because they instead go in these circle-like areas, most commonly the white ones we've seen before. If you put a variable block inside the circle area, the information from the variable will be used instead. So if we take the x position variable and put it into the change y block, the cat's y value will be changed by its x value. Currently the x value is 15, so when we press this, the y value will increase by 15, as so. If we were to put a number variable inside a place that normally stores text, such as the say block, rather than saying a word, it will instead say the number that the variable has. So it will say 15. This will also work for gray circles like this one down here. As you can see, I've made a costume called 15, and if I put the number variable inside of here, when I press it, it will switch to that costume. Now let me just remove this and turn it back. There are also variables with text, as I've said earlier. If we put this into the say block, it will say what the costume name is, as so. However, if we were to put this block into a block that uses numbers rather than text, it will treat the variable as if it's 0. And in the case of change y, it will not move at all. There are many variable blocks, with most sections having at least one variable block in it. Just like booleans, however, there are too many to cover here, and I will be covering all of them in a different follow-up video. Or videos, because there are so many. However, sometimes you might want to make your own variable rather than use a pre-existing one. To do that, go down to the variables section. Here you can create your own variable that you can use however you'd like. To create a variable, simply click Make a Variable. You can then name the variable. I'm going to call it hello. And can then choose if it's usable by all sprites or by this sprite only. The latter is good for if you have a lot of variables and don't want to worry about them all the time, but for now we can just select this one because we're not going to have too many variables. There's also the cloud variable, which makes it so that the variable is shared among all different instances of the project. Basically, whenever one user uses the project, the information saved in this variable will be kept for the next user. It's very useful for high scores and all that, but we aren't going to need it right now. Now, there are 4 blocks which you can use to control this variable. The first is setVariable2, which will set the variable to whatever is chosen. It can be any number or text of our choice. So if we were to input hello, it would go from 0, as you can see up here, to hello. If we were to input a number, such as 15, it would change from hello to 15. The second is the change variable by block, which will change the variable by whatever is input into here. Currently it's 1 and the variable is set to 15, so if we click this, it will change from 15 to 16. If the variable is any kind of text, the change block will treat the text as if it's 0 before changing it. So in this case, 0 plus 1 equals 1, so it will change to 1. The change block can be any kind of number you'd like it to be, but it cannot be any kind of text. There's also the show variable and hide variable blocks. These allow you to show and hide your variable without having to click up here. This also allows you to change whether your variable is shown or not mid-program. With that, you now know what variables are and how to create your own. Thank you for watching.